Good afternoon, Cross Timbers. Today is Wednesday, November 16, 2011. This is Texan TV News, a product of the Texan News Service. I am Cato Neves. In today's headlines, earthquake hits Indonesia, Occupy Wall Street gets shut down, trial setback for Lubbock student, Morgan Mill to host Thanksgiving feast, and sports and weather. Now today's top stories. In international news, a strong earthquake hit Indonesia's eastern province of Papua on Wednesday, causing panic among residents, but there were no immediate reports of damage or casualties. The earthquake, with preliminary magnitude of 6.2, struck at a little before 9 a.m. Indonesia time, said Indonesia's Meteorology, Climatology, and Geophysics Agency. The agency said the quake was centered about 21 miles southwest of the mountainous town of Oxabil at the depth of 35 miles. A housewife who identified herself only as Desi says this is the strongest earthquake I have ever felt. Indonesia is prone to seismic upheaval due to its location on the Pacific Ring of Fire, an arc of volcanoes, and fault lines encircling the Pacific Basin. A giant quake off the country on December 26, 2004, triggered a tsunami in the Indian Ocean that killed 230,000 people, half of them in Indonesia's westernmost province of Aceh. In national news, crackdowns against the Occupy Wall Street encampments across the country reached the epicenter of the movement Tuesday. Police rousted protesters from a Manhattan park, and a judge ruled that their free speech rights do not extend to pitching a tent and setting up camp for months at a time. It was a potentially devastating setback. If crowds of demonstrators return to Zuccotti Park, they will not be allowed to bring in tents, sleeping bags, and other equipment that turn the area into a makeshift city of dissent. But demonstrators pledged to carry on with their message, protesting corporate greed and economic inequality either in Zuccotti or a yet-to-be-chosen new home. This is much bigger than a square plaza in downtown Manhattan, said Hans Shan, an organizer who was working with churches to find places for protesters to sleep. You can't evict an idea whose time has come. State Supreme Court Justice Michael Stallman upheld the city's eviction of the protesters after an emergency appeal by the National Lawyers Guild. The protesters have been camped out in the privately owned park since mid-September. Mayor Michael Bloomberg said he ordered the sweep because health and safety conditions became intolerable in the crowded plaza. By early Tuesday evening, some protesters were being allowed back into the park 2 by 2, but they could each only take a small bag. In state news, the Associated Press reports that U.S. District Judge Sam Cummings in Lubbock has pushed the trial date back until May for Saudi man Khalid Alim al-Dosari, who was accused of trying to make a weapon of mass destruction. The trial date has been set for January 9th, but due to a pushback, the trial has now been set for May 14th. Court documents allege he planned to attack a variety of U.S. targets, including sites in New York City and the home of former President George W. Bush. Al-Dosari has pleaded not guilty, and according to the Lubbock Avalanche Journal, Al-Dosari's attorney filed a notice that he will use an insanity defense. In local news, the holidays are upon us, and Morgan Mill is gearing up for its annual Thanksgiving feast. It is a tradition that has been a part of the community for more than 2 decades. Area residents as well as out-of-town guests celebrate the holiday with food and fellowship. At this year's feast, the Morgan Mill ISD Superintendent, Dean Edwards, said the school will be sending out a welcome call to everyone. When it began, approximately 150 plates were served, and now organizers expect to serve as many as 800 people. Edwards said that this also gives the students a chance to help enhance their public relations skills by inviting elected officials and others from across the county to participate. The invitations are even delivered to individuals across the county line to the soldiers at Fort Hood as well. More soldiers than ever before have accepted the offer this year. Preparation for the feast is currently underway and will continue until the dinner bell rings at 11 a.m. on Friday. Meals are served until 1 p.m., Lunch will be served in the Morgan Mill Gymnasium, located at Highway 281 and FM 1188. Takeouts will also be available, and the school will even be delivering to shut-ins who place order by calling 968-4921. In Tarleton news, the Department of Fine Arts and Theater is now running the second main stage production of the season. Our Town by Thornton Wilder will be running from November 15th through November 19th at 7:30 p.m. in the Clyde H. Wells Fine Arts Center. Our Town is a look at small-town life in the early 20th century. We spoke with the director of Our Town on opening night, as well as audience member and Tarleton senior Paige Parks.
Skinner, and I am the director of Our Town. It is our opening night performance tonight, and it is going really well. Right now we're in Act 1, and the actors are doing a wonderful job, and the audience is responding positively, and I can't wait for Act 2 and 3.
Hi, my name's Paige, and I'm a student here at Tarleton. This is my first performance. Everyone in Our Town did really well, and I look forward to coming to more performances.
Hi, my name is...
By the end of the night, all felt confident that the bar was set high for the following productions. Tarleton has rated Our Town rated G for general audiences. For ticket information, contact Dale Cox at 254-968-9291. In sports, according to Fox News, the NBA informed teams Tuesday that games have been canceled through December 15th, says Yahoo Sports. Players Association Executive Director Billy Hunter said Monday that players have approved disbanding the union in order to file an antitrust lawsuit against the league. This has kicked off what is expected to be a long court battle. According to NBA Commissioner David Stern, he believes that the union's decision is irresponsible. He also added that Hunter has decided to put the season in jeopardy and deprives his players of a big paycheck. Today's weather, you can expect a high of 63 and a low of 36. Today's stories were from the Associated Press, the Empire Tribune, and Fox News. Today's broadcast was produced by Paige Poth, Mackenzie Boone, and Hannah Miller, with the help of Texan TV News' engineer Matthew Mills. You can also follow us on ustream.tv/user/Texan News Service, youtube.com/Texan News Service, Resident Life and Learning Closed Circuit System, and Northland Cable Channel 9. Don't forget to tell your friends about us and become a fan of Texan TV News on Facebook. I am Cato Neves. Tune in Thursday for the latest news from Tarleton State University.